All right, guys, welcome to Tabletop Ready Miniatures. So this is something that we're going to try to be doing. It's going to be each Monday. Um, Obviously, this isn't Monday, and we'll be posting it later. But what we're looking to do is this. I'm calling it a streamcast because it's not a podcast. It's not. We're not going to have it up on podcast stations, but it will be. We will be striving to stream live on Monday nights, and we'll be posting it both on our. We'll be streaming it on our Facebook, posting the videos to that page plus on YouTube. But yeah, so so we're looking to basically do a streamcast where we talk about basically streamcast title. The title is called Codex Hammer, and I have a bunch of different ideas for what we want to do with it. We'll see where it goes and how it goes. One of the main things we want to do with it is to go over Sunday previews, so all the new cool stuff that's supposedly coming out soon, which, as you can see on our screen, is right here. And then also, like I said, we have other ideas, right? We want to talk about. So, for example, the Kragnos. Well, I mean, the thing with we'll want to go over rules, battletomes, codexes, FAQs, all of that jazz. So we will see how it goes. Like I said, it will be a weekly thing. We'll have a couple of different guests that have agreed to be on it regularly, as well as looking to get other guests as well. So, so just for this video, just want to go over the Sunday preview. I'm incredibly excited, and not for the crab, though most people are loving the memes. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited for this new reveal, mainly because we also have a Sisters Adeptus Sororitas army, and they look fantastic. So, so let's go over, like I said, what they talk about. Most of you guys, like I said, already know what's going on. So we have the Warhammer Skulls Festival of Video Games, June 3rd through the 10th. So that'll be interesting to see all the new stuff that's coming out. The Skulls for the Skull Throne event returns this year in a new form and with a fresh new name to celebrate the tremendous ever-growing host of video games set in the mortal realms in the 41st millennium. And there are more and more and more Warhammer video games coming out. So like I said, I'm hoping we'll get a lot of cool either free games or discounted games. The last time this happened, I did pick up a bunch of games for like Xbox and my computer. So like I said, we'll see what comes out. But this is what I'm incredibly excited for. Obviously, the new codex that the sisters are getting. They're talking about needing a whole lot more miracle dice, which I think is an amazing, fun mechanic. I know some people aren't a big fan of it. Some people say it's practically Zeech for Age of Sigmar. Same kind of concept. But I love the idea of faith dice, right? Of these, the Emperor reaching out and saying, you need a 6 to destroy this tank. Here's your miracle die. These miracle dice are literally just miracles that the Emperor of mankind is blessing his faithful warriors with. So I think it's fantastic. I love the rule set. I'm saying it's not like they are incredibly overpowered all the time anyway, so I don't know what people are complaining about. But I'm excited. We've seen these models before. So you have the Morvenval with her special, which is an actually impressive rules-wise model. It is a beautiful model as well. Just a lot of people aren't a fan of like the whole baby carrier. It looks like it's a baby carrier for the sister battle, along with these as well. The Paragon war suits, which I think will be fantastic. I'm gonna obviously get a bunch of them. We still need to get more of that. It's not the anchorites. Anchorites are the updated mortifiers, because they are so. I saw in the major that I went to recently, the 40K tournament. There were almost all the Sisters of Battle armies. I think there was 3 or 4. They all had tons of mortifiers, and one person even brought these, which I'm not quite sure how that was legal, but I assume it was. We have the rules for them, I guess. So, yeah. So I'll definitely be picking up at least 2 units of these, and this bad girl for our army, and then Celestian Sacrosaints. Heavy maces. Look at these beautiful maces, and then just their armor, like so ornate, so gorgeous. Yeah, you have like coffin lids for shields, but they're saying that they're gonna be pretty powerful. So we shall see. You know what I'm saying? They're heavy power weapons, and they wade into close combat, equipped to soak up the heaviest of any attacks with their huge shields. They're also dab hands at protecting their characters, which will also be interesting too to see kind of how that works. Then we have another HQ, the Terrifying Dogmata, to help keep an eye on it. It sounds like she's kind of like a, what's it called? The guard, commissar. She's like the commissar for Sisters of Battle, or Adeptus Sororitas. So then you get obviously cards and dice. I will be getting more of these. And I'm going to actually get a ton of these. So I actually got a bunch of the other ones, but they are incredibly hard to see. And so I will probably get 2 of these. So I have 40. So I can play with these for my dice rolls, and then I'll use the other ones as... because I use the other ones right now for my faith dice, because they're really hard to tell what they are. And then it's easy. I can show, okay, 1, 2, 3, and it's not, I'm not rolling, because when you're rolling right on the table, and then if my opponent's like, I can't tell what you're rolling, that's going to be an issue, right? But with this you can tell, right? So you got, I'm assuming 1 fleur-de-lis all the way up to 5, and then you have over here the 6, which will be the, it looks like an inquisitorial icon, but, for Sisters of Battle. So, yeah, definitely get some of those with some data cards. Necromunda, interesting. I'm actually thinking I might want to get this box set. And I'm not a big Necromunda fan, only because I can use some of these. Like, I would use him as a priest, right? I could use him as a priest. I'd use him as a priest. Like I said, we'd see. With some slight modification, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Because the priests, as they are, I'm not... They're way more like old school, which I guess I have. Actually, I'd probably go with old school too. Like I said, I like that look. I see him and I'm like, oh, I want to use him as a priest. None of these other guys I would ever use, and I never played Necromunda, so I don't care. And then Warhammer Underworlds. I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. Yes, we're all excited for the crab, and they even talk about, don't forget to keep an eye on the fishy companion. It's not just about the crab. But I look at this and I think, like, that's weak. I imagine these guys do a lot, the crab and the fish, but you would think they'd have more going for them than that for their box. But it is what it is. Forge World's got new stuff, because they're awesome. And then Black Library. Excuse me. So, like I said, super excited for the Sisters of Battle releases. We'll be picking up some of everything. I'll probably get 2 squads of these guys, because you gots to. And one of her. But, yeah, so that's that. I did have an interesting discussion. So, we posted a video about Kragnos. I've talked about Honest Wargamer, their reviews of the War Scroll. I did my own review of the War Scroll, and then a commenter on our YouTube video was actually kind of opened my eyes a little bit more because we all know he cost 760 points, which is a ton. But then we actually started going through like statistics. We started going through different concepts of Kragnos, right? Or scroll. Why can't I just? Okay, we'll just go to Warhammer Community, I guess. And just we went through and looked at how powerful, and that's the other thing I want to look at. I haven't looked at that yet. We did see just how strong he actually is, looking at different things, right? Has it been that long? Holy cow. Where'd it go? Was it in a Sunday preview? Because that's his world thing. What is it? Lion's Den, Part 9. Books. Well, that's interesting. I can't seem to find it. Was it after? I don't know. No, because it would have been before that. I'll just look up Kragnos, I guess. Oh, I guess it would be on Games Workshop because he's available for order now, right? But anyway, so one of the main things was he zoom in. So the biggest thing, and like I said, we went back and forth. He has 15 attacks total without taking any wounds, and he doesn't even bracket till he's halfway through his wounds, which is impressive in and of itself. So the Bellow of Rage, we talked about, not a big deal. He has the Destroyer of the Draconith Empire, which is also not a big deal. Then you have the Rampaging Destruction, which is a big deal. Icon of Destruction, whatever, and then his shield. So really the main two things you're taking him for, really, is Rampaging Destruction and shield. The shield. Bellow of Rage does get better as he's taking wounds, but also at the same time it's because it's at the end of any phase. So I mean, saying if you shoot him and he's in close combat, he'll yell. If you if you magic him and he's in close combat, he'll yell. And then you attack him. So he could do multiple phases of bellowing, and that's and it's roll dice for each unit within 6 inches of him. So that's pretty. If you get him in the middle of everything, and then people are punching him, through different phases, he could potentially just start throwing D3 mortal wounds at everybody all over the place. So like I said, it can be an interesting ability. So like I said, we talked about Rampaging Destruction. So I think it's like 16% of the time you do nothing, which as a whole, that's like not much at all, right? And then it was, it's at least, it was like 60% of the time or something like that, you're crippling or destroying a monster. And then the rest of the time you're just hurting a monster if it's a monstrous charge, right? Because and the difficulty with the statistics with this charge roll, and I'm sure someone's already broken it down, was it's you're timesing them, right? So it's not you're adding them up; it's you're timesing the values, the 2 dice values. So it's like I said, I think this is really powerful, and he can easily just run over a monster at will, pretty much any monster, for the most part at will, which is really good. Or if he runs into 3 different units, it's 2d6, which is the same. This ability is essentially the same on a Mega Gargant. And then his shield. So the shield was the other thing. Um, so very few weapons cause mortal wounds, other than magic and endless spells, right? So which is also magic. So basically, your magic phase is where you do the vast majority of mortal wounds. Uh, and then also, I think the shooting phase is probably the next, with all of the whole um, Daughters of Cain and Kraken Overlords and all of those stupid guys who do mortal wounds on 5s and 6s or just 6s. So, but the vast, I mean, so you know what I'm saying. So, other than the shooting phase, you know what I'm saying, the magic phase is where you do a lot of people do a lot of mortal wounds, but he is, I mean, it's because he rolls 3d6 and has to be greater than the casting value of the spell or endless spell to ignore the effects of that spell or endless spell. Um, the average is 9.5 on a 3d6, right? You're averaging, I think it's, if it's a 6. So I think the math was, if you need a 7 or more, then it's like 75% of the time, or 70% of the time you'd be successfully ignoring it. And if you only need a 6, which is most spells are averaging a 6, then it's like 80% of the time or something like that. So it's 85% of the time. So it's this shield, and that's why, like I said, that's why I understand why he's so highly point costed. It's one of the reasons, is this shield really does make him all but immune to and again, it's to the effects of a spell. So, you know what I'm saying, people gotta, really want and hope, they've gotta cast a ton of spells at him, or, you know what I'm saying, or just cast a few and then hope that somehow I fail your rolls. But like I said, this shield makes him all but immune to spells. You know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. Rampaging, like I said, makes it so that as long as he's the one charging, monsters are gonna, you know what I'm saying, he will all but cripple a monster on the charge, right? So, just on the charge alone. Then we go to the attacks, and like I said, so after re-looking at attacks, he hits on 2s and wounds on, or hits on 3s, wounds on 2s with everything. It's the biggest thing is his Dread Mace is 6 attacks and does not decrease. His weakest attack, Hooves of Rack and Ruin, which is the weakest attack, does decrease from 6 all the way down to 3. And it has the least amount of rend, right? So that's the one that has a -1 rend and 2 damage, straight flat 2 damage. His 6 attack, this is is 3 inches, always 6 attacks. Hits on a 3, wounds on a 2, -3 rend, and 4 damage. Which means, again, pretty much everything, because this, the average save of all units in the game is a 4 up. This means even if you are somehow making him -1 to hit, if you got the, your night goblins have the whole, what are they, the netters and all that stuff. So even if he's at a -1 to hit, you're hitting with 3, you're wounding with, essentially 3, and it's -3 rounds, so you get no save, and so you're, on average, you're doing anywhere from 12 to 16 damage, and like I said, and then or 12 damage, and then if you're hitting on 3s, you know what I'm saying, then you're doing anywhere between 12 and 16 damage roughly, just with this club, because like I said, this is cutting through pretty much everything. So it's like I said, his attacks are actually really good, and he does have quite a high damage output capability at all times. You know what I'm saying? He could easily be doing anywhere from 20 to, around 20 damage a turn, all things depending, 20 or more, all things depending. And that, again, doesn't even freaking count him charging into a monster, or charging into units and doing mortal wounds, right? So he is a beat stick. Again, after re-looking at it, after seeing different comments on our YouTube channel, and like I said, re-looking and going over his war scroll again, I think his biggest issue is he has no damage mitigation. He has a 2-up save, which, there's a ton of -1 rend everywhere. Everyone and their mom has -1 rend. So that'll put it, for the most part, he'll be rolling on a 3-up. But he doesn't have any damage mitigation. So it's, I'm saying, I think the scariest thing for him will be the shooting phase. But again, even then, that's only certain armies, right, that are doing that. Yeah. So anyway, just interesting. I mean, at 760 points, I don't know though. I feel like at 760 points, I think most people won't bring him. I think that's just still too much for one model. I mean, people are have enough heartburn with a 500 point, Mega Gargant. If you look at a lot of the other gods that are that high, right? So basically Archeon and Nagash. Nagash has a bazillion spells and is really hard to kill, and I'm saying he has a lot of sticking power. Obviously, he's not as wanton in destruction. Archeon, he's faster. He can attack 2 times in the same combat phase. You know what I'm saying? But he's also kind of a one-trick pony. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's interesting. I've still got one on the way. I'll still use him and play with him. I think he's a fantastic model. I think his rules are fun, and there'll be everyone will find that those certain ways to play with him, and he'll always have those hard matchups. You know what I'm saying? If you're shooting with snakes or you're shooting with elfy bows, you know what I'm saying? I think that, or Caradron Overlords. I think that's where he's gonna be. That's where he's going to have the toughest time, right? It's just getting shot off the board, which, like I said, that makes it hard. Because it's like, okay, here's my, what I'm saying? Here's my 40 shots. Here's my, roughly, 6 to 8 mortal wounds in one phase. So, like, use snakes, right? So, 40 shots, what I'm saying? 6s do mortal wounds. So, you're looking at 6 or 7 mortal wounds, just in one shooting phase, plus a whole host of -1 rend. What I think is it? They hit on 3s, right? So it'd be 20 to hit, and 12 to wound, 13 to wound. Then he's gonna roll 3-up saves, so he's gonna fail 3 or 4 of them. So like I said, you're looking at anywhere from like 9 to 12 wounds, roughly 8 to 12 wounds, depending on how he rolls, right? On average, in one shooting phase. So like I said, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna shoot you in the command phase, and I'm gonna shoot you in the shooting phase, and now you're dead. Like, pick up that model. There's 760 points. Ouch, because he can't do anything about those high volume shots. So, like I said, I don't know a lot of people that are gonna take him. So we'll see. And like I said, I still don't have and I haven't watched any videos about the End of Time or his book, the Kragnos book, to see if there's additional stuff that's going to help him. But as soon as I do, we can update our opinion. So anyway, so there you have it. So like I said, this has been our first inaugural episode of Codex Hammer. Like I said, we'll hopefully be we should be doing these on Mondays. We'll have talking points of different things we want to go over, warscrolls, codexes, that light, all of that stuff, plus whatever was previewed the Sunday before. And like I said, should be fun, should be entertaining. And like I said, we'll be doing a live stream of it, and then also a YouTube video for you guys to enjoy as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, Tabletop Ready Miniatures. We are a painting and assembly studio. We can help you get your army's tabletop ready. We're almost finished with a Caradron Overlord commission. That's turning out to be fantastic and looks awesome, and we're excited for our client and hope he enjoys it. We are booked up until pretty much the end of July, so please get if you want to get put on the books, let us know. We can easily help you, answer any questions, get any quotes you need. Yeah, and we're more than happy to do so. And yeah, we do have a used web store, at tabletopreadyminiatures.com. Go ahead and check that out if you want. And don't forget, we have a Patreon page. So, consider supporting us if you do like the content and the videos. We'd greatly appreciate it. So that's us. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.